The sun rose over Pompeii, painting the sky in hues of orange and gold. The first light of dawn kissed the ancient stones, bringing warmth and life to the city that had stood for centuries. The early morning mist began to lift, revealing the grandeur of the Roman architecture, the temples, the villas, and the bustling streets that would soon be filled with the sounds of daily life. It was a morning like any other, the year 79 AD. The city was alive with the promise of a new day. The air filled with the scent of blooming flowers and the distant hum of activity. The streets, still quiet, would soon be teeming with merchants, artisans, and citizens going about their daily routines. The bustling city, nestled in the shadow of Mount Vesuvius, was waking up. From above, the city looked like a well-oiled machine, each part moving in harmony with the others. The grandeur of the amphitheater, the elegance of the public baths, and the intricate network of streets and alleys all spoke of a civilization at its peak. Little did the people know this day would be their last. The citizens of Pompeii, blissfully unaware of the impending disaster, went about their lives with a sense of normalcy and routine. They laughed, they worked, they loved, all under the watchful eye of the slumbering giant. This day their vibrant city would be frozen in time, a snapshot of Roman life forever preserved beneath a blanket of ash and pumice. The eruption would come swiftly and without warning, turning a thriving metropolis into a ghostly relic of the past. The once bustling streets would fall silent, the laughter and chatter replaced by an eerie stillness. The air was filled with the sounds of life, the clinking of metal as blacksmiths forged tools, the chatter of women at the market, the distant cries of children playing. All these sounds created a symphony of daily existence. It was a city alive with energy and purpose. Merchants were setting up their shops in the Forum, the heart of Pompeii. The Forum was a hive of activity, the center of commerce and social life. Stalls were laden with goods from all corners of the empire, spices, silks, pottery, and more. The air was thick with the scent of exotic wares and the sound of haggling voices. Bakers were already hard at work, the aroma of freshly baked bread wafting through the narrow streets. The warmth of the ovens and the smell of dough rising created a comforting atmosphere. Bread, a staple of the Roman diet, was being prepared for the day's meals, a testament to the city's thriving food culture. Children chased each other through the marketplace, their laughter echoing off the stone walls. Their games and innocent joy were a stark contrast to the looming danger that none could foresee. The marketplace was not just a place of trade, but a social hub where stories were shared and friendships forged. In the distance, the roar of the crowd could be heard from the amphitheater, eager for the gladiatorial games. The amphitheater was a place of spectacle and excitement, where the citizens gathered to witness feats of bravery and skill. It was a symbol of the city's cultural life, a place where the community came together. Life in Pompeii was good. The citizens enjoyed a high standard of living, with access to public baths, theaters, and a variety of entertainment. The city was a melting pot of cultures, with influences from across the Roman Empire creating a vibrant and diverse community. The city was prosperous, its people content. Wealth flowed through the streets, evident in the grand villas and luxurious public buildings. The economy was robust, supported by trade, agriculture, and industry. Pompeii was a city that epitomized the success of the Roman Empire. Mount Vesuvius, though a looming presence, had been dormant for centuries. The mountain was a familiar sight, its slopes a patchwork of vineyards and farms. It was a source of both fear and reverence, a natural landmark that had shaped the lives of the people living in its shadow. It was considered more of a benevolent giant than a threat, its slopes covered in vineyards that produced some of the finest wines in the Roman Empire. The fertile soil, enriched by ancient volcanic ash, yielded bountiful harvests. The wines of Pompeii were renowned, enjoyed by citizens and exported across the empire. But beneath the surface of this idyllic existence, a silent threat was brewing. The tranquility of the city was deceptive, masking the imminent danger that lay beneath. The people of Pompeii and their daily routines were oblivious to the signs of the impending catastrophe. Deep within the belly of the sleeping giant, a fiery inferno was about to be unleashed. The forces of nature, long dormant, were stirring, preparing to release their destructive power. The eruption of Mount Vesuvius would be one of the most catastrophic events in ancient history, forever changing the landscape and the lives of those who called Pompeii home. Pompeii was a city teeming with life, a vibrant tapestry woven with the threads of daily existence. Its streets, paved with large volcanic stones, were a constant hive of activity. People from all walks of life, from merchants to artisans, thronged these pathways, their footsteps echoing the rhythm of the city. The Forum, the city's central square, was a grand spectacle of marble columns and statues, a testament to the architectural prowess of the Romans. It was a hub for political discourse, trade, and social gatherings. Here the voices of orators mingled with the clamor of traders, creating a symphony of human interaction. It was here that deals were struck, gossip exchanged, and justice meted out. The Forum was the beating heart of Pompeii, where the pulse of the city could be felt most strongly. Beyond the Forum lay a labyrinth of narrow streets lined with shops and houses. These winding alleys were the veins through which the lifeblood of the city flowed. The air was filled with the sounds of hammering from workshops, where blacksmiths and craftsmen toiled to create tools, jewelry, and other goods. The enticing smells of spices from exotic lands wafted through the air, mingling with the lively chatter of the townsfolk. Markets were bustling centers of commerce and conversation. Water gurgled in the fountains, a refreshing respite from the Mediterranean sun. These fountains were not just sources of water but also social hubs where people gathered to exchange news and stories. The grandeur of Pompeii was not limited to its public spaces. The city was also home to luxurious villas that showcased the wealth and taste of its inhabitants. Wealthy Pompeians resided in opulent villas adorned with intricate mosaics and frescoes. These artworks depicted scenes from mythology, nature, and daily life, adding a touch of elegance to their homes. These houses, often built around open courtyards, were havens of peace and luxury. The courtyards provided a serene escape from the bustling city outside, with lush gardens and tranquil water features. This opulence stood in stark contrast to the humble dwellings of the city's less fortunate. These modest homes, though simple, were filled with the warmth and love of their inhabitants. And then there were the baths, a quintessential part of Roman life. These public bathhouses were more than just places for cleansing, they were social and cultural centers. Pompeii boasted several bath complexes, where citizens could cleanse themselves, socialize, and engage in leisurely pursuits. The baths were a place where people from all walks of life could come together. The walls of these baths, adorned with exquisite mosaics and frescoes, echoed with the laughter of children splashing in the pools. These artistic decorations added to the ambiance, making the baths a feast for the eyes as well as a place for relaxation. The animated conversations of adults filled the air as they discussed politics, business, and daily life. The baths were a microcosm of Pompeii, reflecting the city's vibrant and diverse community. Pompeii was a microcosm of Roman society, a city of stark contrasts. Nestled in the shadow of Mount Vesuvius, it was a bustling hub of activity, where the grandeur of the Roman Empire was on full display. The city was a melting pot of cultures, ideas, and lifestyles, each contributing to its unique character. The wealthy elite, adorned in fine togas and jewelry, enjoyed a life of privilege and leisure. They hosted lavish banquets where the finest foods and wines were served, and their homes were adorned with exquisite art and luxurious furnishings. These affluent citizens were the epitome of Roman opulence. They owned vast estates, profited from trade, and held considerable influence in the city's affairs. Their villas were architectural marvels, complete with intricate mosaics and private baths. In the forums, they debated policies and made decisions that shaped the future of Pompeii. Their lives were a world away from the realities of the common folk. As they strolled through the streets, their wealth and status were evident, a stark contrast to the modest existence of the majority. The majority of Pompeii's population were commoners, artisans, shopkeepers, and laborers who toiled daily to make a living. These individuals were the heart and soul of the city, their hands crafting the goods and services that sustained daily life. They lived in modest homes, their lives a constant struggle for survival. Despite their hard work, they often faced uncertainty and hardship, their fortunes tied to the whims of the market and the favor of the elite. Yet they were the backbone of Pompeii, their skills and labor essential to the city's prosperity. From the bustling markets to the workshops, their contributions were vital, even if they went largely unrecognized. Then there were the slaves, a silent, invisible workforce upon whose backs the Roman Empire was built. These individuals, often captured in wars or born into servitude, had no rights and lived at the mercy of their masters. They served in the homes of the wealthy, worked in the fields, and performed the tasks that others shunned. Their labor was grueling, their lives marked by hardship and suffering, yet they were an integral part of the Roman economy. Their lives were a testament to the brutal inequalities of the Roman world. Punishments were harsh, and their existence was one of relentless toil and subjugation, a stark reminder of the darker side of Roman civilization. And of course, no account of Pompeii would be complete without mentioning the gladiators, the warriors who captivated the crowds with their bravery and skill. These men, often slaves or prisoners of war, trained rigorously to entertain the masses. These men, often slaves or prisoners of war, fought for glory, for survival, and for the fleeting adulation of the masses. Their battles were a spectacle, a brutal form of entertainment that highlighted the valor and the violence of Roman culture. The gladiators' lives, like those of many in Pompeii, were a blend of hope and despair, triumph and tragedy. The morning of August 24th, 79 AD, dawned like any other in Pompeii. The sun rose, casting its golden glow on the bustling city. But beneath the surface of this normalcy, there were subtle hints of the impending disaster, whispers of warning that went largely unnoticed. For days, the earth had been trembling, a series of minor tremors shaking the city. Most people dismissed these as mere inconveniences, a common occurrence in a region known for its seismic activity. Little did they know that these tremors were harbingers of a far greater cataclysm. Wells and springs, usually overflowing, ran dry, their waters receding into the earth. Animals exhibited strange behavior, growing agitated and restless. The air hung heavy with a sulfurous stench, a pungent odor emanating from the heart of Mount Vesuvius. Yet life in Pompeii continued unabated. The merchants opened their shops, the artisans went about their work, and the gladiators prepared for their battles in the arena. The warnings, though present, were ignored, dismissed as mere quirks of nature. The people of Pompeii remained oblivious to the disaster that was about to be unleashed upon them.